this. We turn now to tonight's panel. Two Fox News contributors joining me here, Margaret Hoover, and from L.A., Leslie Marshall. First of all, Margaret, I got to ask you what you think about Sean.
I think Sean is terrific. I mean, what a breath of fresh air, frankly. And so many people in Massachusetts, I was talking to some folks in Massachusetts today, said for so long they've wanted to get rid of Barney Frank, but there hasn't been a great candidate. Finally, there's an upstanding citizen, a U.S. Marine, highly educated, really bright, breath of fresh air coming into the scene.
By the
and
way,
he could actually win.
Leslie, Barney Frank won in 2006 by 100%. That's because there was nobody going against him. Finally, at least it's good in the political contest, no matter where you stand, to have a competitor, a worthy competitor, no?
Well, what you guys probably don't know is I was born in Fall River, Massachusetts.
Oh, that's part of the district.
Yes, it is. I grew up, and my mom and my whole family still lives in the district. And you may have talked to a few people, but I'm related to a lot more people who are going to vote for Congressman Frank again because he's done a lot for the district and for the state of Massachusetts, and he's going to continue to be able to do what he's done for
I'm not going to in any way, shape, or form get you to say that he's a worthy opponent of Barney Frank, but let me ask you about Barney Frank. Do you think we are too tough on Barney Frank and his complicity with what happened with Fannie and Freddie?
You asking me? Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, no one person, David, and I agree with you right before you came to us, what you said. This is a mess, and responsible parties fall on both sides of the aisle.
Right.
We're giving Barney Frank way too much power if we give him all the blame. Therefore, do we give him all the credit once the economy? That's what I'm hearing today.
About what I said, blame is on both sides. However, you think of some of the statements that Barney Frank said at a time when everybody was saying, wait, it needs more oversight. He was saying, no, it doesn't need more oversight.
Well, because he made a misjudgment, as he has admitted to in 2003, and he wasn't clairvoyant and had a crystal ball about the economy and Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac specifically. Think about it. Former President Bush had at one time, and both sides, Democrats and Republicans, pushed for more affordable home loans, wanted bigger profits, and wanted new quotas for Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac.
Perhaps it was
greed that was to be blamed here.
In July 2008, 5 years after that comment that we put up, Frank said Fannie and Freddie are fundamentally sound. They are not in danger of going under. That was July 2008. September 2008, federal government seizes Fannie and Freddie.
That's exactly right. And 2 weeks before, Secretary Paulson had called him and told him that they were in trouble and that the government might bail them out. Look, if this were just about Fannie and Freddie, we could debate that, but it's not even just about that. Barney Frank is somebody who has been consistently corrupted by the powers that he has held in Washington. He is surrounded by several scandals right now. One, Watersgate. It looks like he wrote the legislation which actually bailed out Maxine Waters' husband's bank and augmented the balance sheets to make it look like they were worth a lot more than it was. There's another scandal about him misreporting gifts, private jet rides down to the Bahamas. Barney Frank is also somebody who's been blinded by his own ideology for his entire almost 40 years in government. It is time to retire.
Leslie, hasn't he been there too long?
Oh no! I mean, that's really up to the constituency, for crying out loud.
You don't
how
believe in term
old was
limits,
Strom Thurmond? You know what I do? I believe in term limits, but we have them, David. It's called our power to vote, and if we become educated voters when we place that vote, we'll have
hold on a second, Leslie. I got to tell you, I'm for term limits, whether they're Republicans, whether they're Democrats, no matter which party it is. You can be in too long. The power gets to you. Go ahead, Margaret.
I would just say to Leslie, I'm glad you're from Massachusetts. That means you know that your district went for Scott Brown by 1%. So this is a real shot. Barney Frank could really lose a seat, and he knows it. That's why Bill Clinton has been there. Sean Bielat may be the next congressman from Massachusetts.
It's a tight race. Ladies, thank you very much. Margaret and Leslie, we'll see more of you coming up next time.